Alright, continuing Tubi Horror Weekend, we have the Day of the Dead remake from 2008, as I mentioned in my video for this, which I've been thinking is very good. So, the Day of the Dead remake, and as I mentioned in that video, I'm going into this with a fresh perspective, I should say. I have never seen the original. I plan on it changing that, but I've never seen the original, so this is an unbiased review. I'm not going to be bitching and moaning how it's not like the original or how it's worse than the original. I'm just going on what I know from watching this film. And honestly, I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was actually a pretty decent film. I do think that Nick Cannon was very miscast. Look, I saw that Nick Cannon was in this film, but I didn't know what kind of role he was playing. At first, I had my doubts about Mina Servari playing a military type, but she's alright. Nick Cannon, on the other hand, he came in wearing an army uniform, and I went, no, they're not serious. And he's acting like he's tough, but it's Nick Cannon. It's Nick Cannon. I love Nick Cannon, don't get me wrong. I grew up with him in Nickelodeon, Nick Cannon show, all that. Wild and Out. Now, can't say enough. Love Nick Cannon. But he is miscast as a military person. If he was, I understand that at his age he couldn't play a teenager at this point, 2008. But he could be just like a regular city folk, like a regular townsperson, and be one of them. To cast him as a military person just doesn't make any sense to me. And while I haven't seen the original, I do know some things, such as Bub, and I know that his character was a zombie that had been worked with he kind of had human still in him, I think. I don't know. Here we have Bud, and he's a vegetarian, and that's why when he turns into a zombie, that and the fact that he has a thing for our main character, Mina Servari, playing Sarah. I know there are some characters in this that are copied from the original, but differently, such as Sarah, which is based on the original character, Sarah. And then there's Colonel Rhodes, played by Ving Rhames in this one, which is no relation to his character in Dawn of the Dead at all. Colonel Rhodes in the original, who was the human antagonist, and like I said before, you don't get any human antagonists. So I don't know how I'll feel about Dawn of the Dead, but in this zombie kind of movie, I liked how there wasn't actually a human antagonist. There was hostilities between the human characters, but none of them were straight up villains. Like Colonel Rhodes, he was an asshole, but he was, I liked how he tore out his own eyeball and ate it. I kind of laughed at that. Like, he ate his own eyeball. Yes. So this whole thing starts. People in town are getting what they're calling the flu, which is not how it works. They don't explain exactly how it happens, but from my knowledge, unless it was like a gas thing, I don't know. It starts with a bloody nose, and this chick, he's making out with this guy that has blood on his face. Oh, you could make me sick. And I'm like, a bloody nose? I mean, I know there's bloodborne pathogens. But one, he didn't know he had it. It was an accident. So it's not like he knew that he had a bloody nose and it was going to go over the place. He didn't know. She's freaking out. And you got, she's like, oh, we go. Then you got Annalyn McCord. And the guy from Twilight, that's not Robert Pattinson, but the other guy who likes Bella, who's not Robert Pattinson or Mr. No Shirt Guy. Okay? Robert Pattinson and Mr. No Shirt Guy. The other guy that ends up with Anna Kendrick's character, I think, in that. I don't know. I haven't seen those movies for a while. Don't ask. Don't ask me to review those. I'm not ready to step into that world just yet. But, yeah. So Alan McCord is his girlfriend in this and tells him, hey, what's your mom? Oh, she's upstairs in bed. What about your couch? So he like tells his friend to get out, and then like friend takes off, the girl takes off, girl gets eaten by zombies right away, and then his friend takes off, and then turns out he's Mina Savari's brother, and she goes to check on her mom, and I did kind of roll my eyes at, they're like, oh, this shithole, and he's like, when she's talking to Bud, she's like, I need someone to drive, and then she drives anyway. She goes, he's like, I thought you wanted me to drive, and she's like, I know I know the roads or something like that. I'm just like, well, then why'd you need him? Other than prerequisite romantic thing, whatever. I get to her house. She goes in, and her brother and Annalyn McCord are making out on the couch. Annalyn McCord's in a bra. She's too skinny for me, but I need a little more thickness and a bigger bust, But look at my ex-girlfriends. They're all bigger women. Nothing against them. So her mom is sick, and I'm going to get her to the hospital. And that's when they go to the hospital, you got this whole breakout of just zombies everywhere. There was a scene later that confused me at first. Because, there's this, when they go to pick up, so Ian McNeice is a DJ on a radio station. And somehow, the brother and Annalyn McCord, they get to the radio station, and they start sending out a signal. As he goes outside, the brother, Trevor, he sees this female zombie. Now, the zombie makeup is, admittedly, not very good. It just looks like whole weird scars on her face or something. I don't know. But, so I didn't know that this zombie was his mother. So she gets run over, and then Mina Savari gets out and goes, it's okay. It's not her anymore. It's not her anymore. Even though she's protecting Bud, because he got bit, but he's a vegetarian, and he loves her, so it's okay. And I'm like, why would he care about some random zombie? And then I realized later it was their mother. I didn't know that. And this movie is paced pretty good. It has running zombies, like the Dawn of the Dead zombies, which I like in my zombies. I like the running kind of zombies. You know what I mean? I like that. So, yeah. It's pretty good. And it ends kind of weird. You have, I think the brother and sister survive or something, and then the zombie jumps up at the screen, and it scared the crap out of me. And I was like, whoa, wait, whoa. And that's how it ends. I'm like, what? Of course it's not going to be a definitive ending because it's a zombie apocalypse movie. But the one thing I have to criticize is how people get infected. It's never specified. And I understand these movies, you don't really need to have it specified. But I may criticize, we need some kind of vague exposition. In the original Night of the Living Dead, they told us that it was something to do with a space probe. And from what I remember from Dawn of the Dead, at least the remake one, people got bit, then they turned. Here, there's something that's in the air, they're getting some kind of flu, and then they're turning. And from what I know of the original trilogy, it was about stages. The first one was about just getting infected. Night of the Living Dead was about getting infected. Dawn of the Dead was survivors in the middle of this, when people are still kind of changing, and then Day of the Dead was like a post-apocalyptic last of humanities, Here it's just another zombie movie, and I'm not trying to compare because I haven't seen the original, but it does just seem like they made a run-of-the-mill zombie infection movie, added the military thing, because that was in the original, added some of the characters' names, like Sarah Rhodes and Bud instead of Bub. And, yeah, just went that route. As a film, it's not too bad. I enjoyed it. I'll give it a. I'll give it a 7. I think it's decent. Um, we'll see. I'm gonna see if I can't find the Night of the Living Dead remake and kind of see how that one is, the Tom Savini remake. I'm pretty sure the gore might be good. It's Tom Savini after all, but we'll see. So, what are your thoughts on Day of the Dead remake? In the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.